Dude, did you see AI can complete chess now? Bro, what if we start following it religiously?
Things got really weird when we started talking about AGI and superintelligence. We went from, hey, look at this transform model, look at how it can do chess, to let's bring on the second coming of the all-powerful AI god. Conversations got odd. It's not an omniscient oracle. It's a very smart autocomplete strapped to a data center. Very, very smart autocomplete.
Let's talk about human AI collaboration, all right? Because I think at the moment, the way we talk about AI in education is we're coming from a defensive crouch, all right? AI can never do creativity, right? Critical thinking is uniquely human. AI will never replace real relationships. What happens even when AI gets good at these things? Because it is already happening. A recent HBR study found that the top use of generative AI is now therapy and companionship. So students are using it for support, for guidance, for connection. Danny Liu from the University of Sydney calls this the human of the gaps problem. So kind of like that theological concept where every scientific advance shrinks what we attribute to God, okay? Or some higher power. So every time AI gets better at something we thought was uniquely human, we feel diminished, right? I mean, I can only imagine it feels like watching your kid become better at technology than you, right? So technically impressive, but emotionally devastating. Let's be positive in this. What if it's instead of AI can never give good feedback? What if we said students will always value feedback from their human teachers? It's not about what AI can or can't do. It's about what we value about human connection. We need to start from what's possible for humans in the age of AI rather than what's left for people, because that's a completely different mindset.
Things got really weird when we started talking about AGI and superintelligence. We went from, hey, look at this transform model, look at how it can do chess, to let's bring on the second coming of the all-powerful AI god. Conversations got odd. So I kind of want to retire or get rid of or avoid the AI as a deity nonsense. It's not an omniscient oracle. It's a very smart autocomplete strapped to a data center. Very, very smart autocomplete. Treating it like a god invites unhelpful reactions, so things like worship, so bow to the silicon savior, and denial, so it can't possibly do a sunset as well as I can. So let's pick that middle lane. Students aren't asking, will AI replace my teacher? They're probably asking, how can both of you help me to do better? So that HBR finding on the AI companionship doesn't probably exalt the machine. It highlights the human hunger for feedback, for connection, needs we can actually design for, not defend against. So I love this framing from Danny. So let's stop playing the human of the gaps, the whack-a-mole that we keep playing, and reframe the question from what's left to us to what do we as humans want to amplify. If anyone playing the adjunct intelligence bingo, it's those epoch skills again. So it's critical thinking, it's empathy, it's context, curiosity, and the glorious unpredictability of real relationships, all things an algorithm can mimic but never truly live.
And look, this isn't just us fanboying here. There is research to prove that these partnerships work,
Give us the numbers, Nick.
right? So March of this year, Dalacqua et al., this is a research crew combining Harvard, Wharton, Ethan Mollick, and the Mollicks rather, in there, MIT and the BCG. They published a study, just under 800 professionals at Procter & Gamble doing actual product development work. So actual professionals with actual stakes. The findings just blew me away. We're talking individuals working with an AI performing just as well as, if you like, traditional two-person teams without it, right? There was a 37% improvement in performance. And beyond that, more qualitative things. People using AI reported higher excitement, more energy and enthusiasm, lower anxiety and frustration. They weren't just more productive, they were happier in their work, right? And then remember those expertise silos that we're always trying to break down in education, they vanished. So R&D specialists, commercial specialists became indistinguishable when working with AI. So the tech helped them think beyond their specialization.
In short, you're saying if a human is using AI, they are amplified. Everything they do statistically was, I won't say better, but completed quicker. It's a great piece of study. It's a great piece of research.
And I mean, those different lenses that the AI can then bring, critical friend, or I need a legal perspective, I need a marketing perspective, obviously not giving everything over to the machine, but as you say, amplifying what is already there.
As a partner.
As a partner, quite. The successful users fell into two fascinating camps that Mollick calls Centaurs and Cyborgs, and that Dale has cited. I mean, we have cited on this numerous times, right? I want to say, as an aside, I think it's a very weird time we're in, where workplace efficiency is explained through tropes from fantasy models, Centaurs and Cyborgs.
It's very difficult to get up in a board presentation and talk about how we need to be more cyborgs and centaurs.
No, no, where are you going? Come back. This is a serious meeting. Centaurs have strategic division of labor. Okay. So clear lines between human and AI tasks. So think of an educator who decides what concepts to teach, but lets AI do the heavy lifting of generating practice problems, right? So I'll handle the pedagogy, AI handles some or of the content generation. Cyborgs are completely different, right? They work in constant collaboration with AI, so moving back and forth across what Moloch calls the jagged frontier of AI capability. So again, going back, this teacher, the drafting feedback, looping in the AI to suggest improvements, refining it further, using the AI to check for clarity. This is more of a dance between human and machine, right? So both approaches worked, both produce better results than humans or AI working alone. Dale, Centaur, Cyborg, where are you? Are you one or the other, or does it depend on the day, the task?
Go back to that MIT AI Rot Your Brain study. I was once a proud cyborg. I'm definitely probably more of a conscious centaur now, in that I'm really keen to understand where that line is. And when I do find I'm a bit more cyborg and flexing across, I'm doing task stewardship. So I'm making sure that I'm doing something and where it takes off. And so that's the dance I'm doing at the moment. But probably moving back towards that old centaurism for now.
Walking the talk, eh? Task stewardship and all.
You've been a real impact on me, Nick.
That's what we're here for. What does this all look like in the classroom, right? So imagine instead of, I mean, the ex-teacher here, imagine instead of spending your Sunday night grading 30 essays, right? Those special kind of weekends, evenings where you're questioning your life choices. But instead, you're working with the AI as a thinking partner, right? You read the first few essays yourself to understand themes, then you work with the AI to identify patterns across the rest. But you're the one having conversations with students about their ideas. You're the one providing the encouragement, the challenge, the human connection. Or think about lesson planning, right? So instead of AI generating a complete lesson plan, you collaborate. So you bring the pedagogical, the andragogical expertise and knowledge of your students. AI helps you research current examples, suggest activities, help you think through potential misconceptions. It's not replacing your expertise, it's returning to a theme, amplifying it. Because the thing is, this isn't just about efficiency, and that is crucial. From day one, AI vendors and tech bros have been promising to help educators save time on boring tasks like grading and lesson planning, right? But as Danny Liu points out, what's sold as efficiency is often just trade-offs. So concrete example, same teacher using AI to auto-grade essays, they might save 2 hours, 3 hours, right? But then they lose those moments of understanding where students are struggling. They miss the aha moments that come from really engaging with student thinking. So they save time, but they lose effectiveness. I think Google's release the other week of 30 tools that will just push a button, punch out a worksheet or lesson plan. I don't think teachers want lesson plans fed to them by software. They want time to work together, to mentor each other, to curate and adapt quality resources. Students, as we saw from the Northeastern study a while ago, they don't want professors using AI chatbots to handle, quote, overwhelming workloads. They want meaningful engagement. And I would argue that the efficiency narrative misses the point entirely. It's about humans, it's about relationships, messiness, and friction. The question isn't, does AI save time? But does AI help make the time we spend with students more valuable, more meaningful? I mean, Dale, so this efficiency versus effectiveness distinction feels huge, right? Are we at the present measuring the wrong things when we think about AI in education?
Time saved is the wrong metric. It's like a KPI on productivity and doesn't actually help humans probably embrace this, because the second order effect is, if time is saved, perhaps I'm not needed. And so I think it does really need to be positioned towards if I'm not doing this, what are the high impact solutions, high impact tasks that I'm able to do that I can offboard? And again, sorry, this is the buzzword for this episode, but it's, how can I amplify what I'm doing? Me to the power of AI.
Amplify, extend, because this brings me to, I think, the biggest shift that we need to make, right? We've been thinking about this as adopting AI. Maybe this harkens back to the open letter as well. Like we're victims of technological change, just forced to integrate this alien intelligence into our classrooms. But what if we saw ourselves as stewards instead, right? Not adopting AI just wholesale, but instead steering it, shaping it, stewarding education in the context of AI. Here's what this could look like practically, and some homework if listeners are interested. Pick one task that you do regularly. right? So maybe creating discussion questions or giving feedback on drafts. Try, as Dale is, working as a conscious centaur first, right? So decide the learning objectives. AI generates initial questions, and then you refine them, right? Then come over to the dark side with me and try the cyborg approach, right? So the constant back and forth collaboration. See what works, what doesn't, where you feel energized, versus where you feel like you're losing something important. And then the last piece, get meta maybe. Bring that experience to your students, not as rules, but as a shared exploration and conversation. Because, I mean, here's the thing, no surprises. We've said this before, but students are already doing this. They're just doing it in secret, without guidance, and often badly. By experimenting yourself first, you're not just preparing for the future, you're modeling the critical thinking and intentional tool use we want them to develop.
Nick, I love this removal of the black hat. This is great, and practical advice too. More, please.
Done. Yeah, this is much lighter. Thank you.
Well, listeners, thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already, please leave us a review. Share around within your network and hit subscribe on whatever platform you are at. For those watching on YouTube, we are on all your favorite podcast platforms. And for those who love CFAs, you can see us on YouTube too. We'd love to tell you what's on next week's episode, but it's a world that moves way too fast. So you'll just have to tune in. Until then, stay curious, stay intelligent, stay in the human loop.